My wife always told me she and her ex were just friends. I wasn't thrilled about it, but I trusted her. I really did. I believed that our marriage was strong enough, that our bond was real. But that trust, that entire world I thought we'd built together, it all shattered last week. It started on a completely normal Tuesday morning. She was running late for work, rushing around the house in a bit of a panic. You know how it is, grabbing her keys, her bag, shouting a quick "I love you" as she flew out the door. In her haste, she left her iPad on the kitchen counter. I didn't think anything of it at first. I just went about my morning, making coffee, getting ready for my own day. The iPad was still connected to her messages, and a little while later, the screen lit up with a notification. I glanced over, not trying to be nosy, but it was right there. The name on the screen was her ex. My stomach did a little flip, but I told myself to calm down. They were friends, right? That's what she always said. But then I read the message. It was just 5 words, but they hit me like a physical blow. It said, "Did he buy the story?" My blood ran cold. The story? What story? My mind started racing, trying to make sense of it, trying to find an innocent explanation. Maybe it was a surprise party, a gift she was planning. But my gut, that deep down instinct we all have, was screaming that something was very, very wrong. Before I could even process the first message, another one popped up from him. This one was even worse. "You're too good at lying. Same place tonight." My heart started pounding in my chest, so loud I could hear it in my ears. Lying, same place tonight. The words echoed in my head, painting a picture I didn't want to see. My first instinct was to grab the iPad, to scroll through everything, to find all the proof I needed. But I stopped myself. I didn't touch it. I didn't respond. I just stood there in the quiet kitchen, staring at the screen, the silence deafening. I decided to wait. I needed to see how this played out. I needed to see her face when she lied to mine. The rest of the day was a blur. I went through the motions of work, but my mind was a million miles away, replaying those messages over and over. I felt a cold, heavy knot of dread in my stomach. Every minute felt like an hour. Finally, evening came. I heard her key in the lock, the door opening, her cheerful voice calling out, "Honey, I'm home." She came in, all smiles, and wrapped her arms around me, giving me a long hug and a kiss. She acted completely normal, completely like the wife I thought I knew. She asked about my day, chattered about some funny thing that happened at her office. It was the most surreal, out-of-body experience. I was watching a performance, and I was the unsuspecting audience. My heart ached with the betrayal, but I kept my face a perfect mask of calm. So, when she was done with her story, I looked her straight in the eye and asked, "How was work?" She smiled. That beautiful smile that I used to think was just for me. "Oh, she said with a little sigh. Same old, same old. It's just a stressful day." I nodded slowly, letting her words hang in the air between us. I reached over, picked up the iPad from the counter, and held it out to her. My voice was steady, unnervingly calm. "Good," I said. "You'll need this for your next lie." The color drained from her face. It happened so fast, it was like watching a light switch get flipped off. Her smile vanished. She took the iPad from my hand, her own trembling slightly. Her eyes darted down to the screen, and I watched her read the messages from her ex. I saw the flicker of panic, the dawning horror as she realized she'd been caught. She started stuttering, tripping over her words. It's not what it looks like. We're just talking, I swear. Nothing happened." The excuses tumbled out, a waterfall of desperate lies. Blah, blah, blah. It was just noise to me at that point. The trust was already gone, incinerated by those 2 text messages. I let her ramble for a moment, let her dig her own hole deeper. Then I held up a hand to stop her. I had just one question. My voice was quiet, but it cut through her panicked denials like a knife. Why? I asked. Did he say same place tonight? Silence. Complete and total silence. She couldn't answer. She just stood there, her mouth opening and closing, but no sound came out. That was all the confirmation I needed. The story she was so good at telling had finally come to an end. I didn't shout. I didn't throw things. There was no big, dramatic movie scene. All the anger I felt had solidified into a cold, hard resolve. I just stood up from the table. "Tell your ex," I said, my voice flat and devoid of emotion, "that I won't be the next fool on his chat list." That's when the real panic set in for her. Her eyes went wide. She grabbed my arm, the tears finally starting to fall. "No, please, don't go. We can fix this. Don't leave." She begged, she cried, she clung to me. But it was too late. I gently removed her hand from my arm. And then I did the one thing she never thought I would do. I walked out the door. The same door she had breezed through that morning thinking her secrets were safe. The same door she thought I'd never leave through. I walked away. One thought kept replaying in my mind. If her ex knew more about the truth of our marriage than I did, then she was never really my wife to begin with. The life we had was just a story she told. And I was done being a character in it. Thanks for listening to my story. It's been tough, but sharing it helps. If you've been through something similar or just want to see what happens next, make sure to subscribe and follow along. You're not alone.